Good morning to all of you out there. Good day to all of you who are watching the replay, and a pleasant day to anyone out there watching Agenda via Signal TV or on Facebook globally. Kasi meron po tayong mga kaibigan who are watching Agenda from abroad, and we are really honored and grateful that you are joining us this morning. It's April 15, 2021. It's a Thursday. Nakikisama po ang panahon. The weather seems to be cooperating with the mood of many Filipinos who are now lining up or trying to pay income tax at the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So it's tax day again. The government needs to collect taxes. It's our duty to pay taxes, and we hope that pasalamat po tayo. Let's all be thankful that we earned an income that we will now be paying taxes on. Let's just do our best to monitor where that tax money is going to. Okay, today we are going to have two guests. First, they're both regulars here on Agenda. First would be Congresswoman, representative of the 2nd District of Marikina, Congresswoman Stella Quimbo, and she will be followed by Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya. With Congresswoman Quimbo, medyo I will request Congresswoman partially to take the role of professor again today, also researcher, also forecaster, kasi alam nyo po, yung mga budget, hindi na po pinag-uusapan ng maraming Pilipino. Ang pinag-uusapan ng maraming Pilipino, ano na ang magiging kalagayan? What will our situation be in the coming months? Is there a future to look forward to in terms of economy? And we will find out from the good Congresswoman what to expect. Then, with Secretary Jonathan Malaya, of course, we will be speaking about a combination of things. First and foremost, yung kinomplain kahapon ng mga professional healthcare professional alliance. They were saying that one of the biggest problems is contact tracing, not just finding out who you were with when someone got infected, but the fact that there are so many apps and you can go from place to place to place, para bang parang mission impossible. This message will self-destruct in 30 seconds. Parang pag umalis ka ng isang bayan, yung contact trace sa'yo, mawawala na. Anyway, we will check with USEC Jonathan Malaya. Also, yung dalawang kaso ng curfew violators na yung isa inatake sa puso, nag-collapse, yung isa naman nabagok daw ang ulo dahil nadulas matapos mabugbog. Yun ang at least lumalabas sa report, okay? But first, let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star and find out what's up. 8 business groups express support for calls made to China to pull out its vessels in the Julian Felipe Reef. These groups include the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Management Association of the Philippines, and the Makati Business Club. The Philippines yesterday filed 2 diplomatic protests against China due to this West Philippine issue. Congratulations, Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin. Opta Research says that the fatality rate in Metro Manila has increased threefold in recent weeks as it has now gone up to 5.4%. Okay? So, kumbaga, tumaas na yung mga bilang ng namamatay. Now, allow me to just comment on this quickly. Nananawagan po ako dun sa mga kasama natin sa media na nagmo-monitor who are reporting on this matter, because yesterday I noticed that the reports focused again on senior citizens dying. Sabi nung isang report nga, 30% of the total deaths are senior citizen. But they didn't talk about the younger people who are also dying from COVID-19. And this type of reporting or this state of mind where you focus too much on one group basically defeats the messaging. The point is that there are more people dying from COVID-19, period. The minute you start saying, oh, most of them or a bit or 30% of them were senior citizens, people tend to think, senior citizen lang. It's only senior citizens who are more susceptible. And that's why most of us senior citizens have become the IATF detainees. Okay? The fact of the matter is, it is not selective of age. COVID-19 and its minions are killing Filipinos or people around the world, period, regardless of age. So, please, correct that sa mga tiga-media. And for those of you who are watching, please, don't be misled and think that, senior citizens lang. Kasi kami mga senior citizens, hello, naturally, nasa ano na kami, nasa linya na kami ng medyo diminishing returns. Habang tumatanda, mas lumalala or mas malamang at malamang malalapit na sa hukay. But do not think for 1 minute that the remaining 60% are scot-free. Kayo yung mga nasa 60% na mga bata kayo. Okay, nagsermon na naman si Kuya Cito. Okay, in other news, the Senate Committee of the Whole is conducting an inquiry into the issues surrounding pork supply and the African swine fever as it has been discovered that 30 million kilograms of pork have been smuggled into the country last year. Tell us something we don't know, Mr. Senator. Matagal na pong alam ng taong bayan yan. This has gone on for years, okay? But only now is it becoming an issue because now people can't afford pork. Kanina po, 400 plus na raw ang baboy dito sa palengke, dyan sa National Capital Region. And unfortunately, it's not only baboy, not only your favorite liempo that's being smuggled. There is now smuggling, has been smuggling of gasoline, okay, smuggling of cigarettes, etc., etc. So, let's go now to our professor for economics. Magpaturo tayo. Also, the representative of Congresswoman of the 2nd District of Marikina, Congresswoman Stella Quimbo. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Cito, and thanks for having me.
Okay, medyo baka mabulaga kayo kasi unahin ko muna yung malapit sa puso ng marami. Just to give you a story, yesterday a supermarket bagger asked me that question. This question, Sir, paano na kami? Ano na ang maaasahan namin under COVID? Kasi po, marami sa amin na tanggal na sa trabaho. Pagkatapos magbabawas na naman kami ng 1 day a month. And kami po ay nag-aalala na kung meron pa ba sa aming matatanggal or may maasahan pa ba kami. I think, Congresswoman, are you there?
Sorry,
Okay.
I froze for a bit. I lost you with a bagger.
Yeah, they're asking, I think we're having problems with the Congresswoman's signal. Gab, let's get back to her once it's stable. But that is the primary concern of many Filipinos right now. Will we be, those who have jobs, will we be able to keep our jobs? Because a lot of the employees, lalo na yung mga daily wage earners are saying, iniiksian na yung kanilang working days, working hours, etc. So, hindi pa po natin nakikita. Okay, Congresswoman, you're back?
Yes. So tama, no? Talagang right now, so apart from health, of course, economic recovery, job starting our economy, that's really the problem. Up to today, so I know that I've been a suke here, Cito, and from the very beginning, since April of last year, ito na yung ating concern. And unfortunately, up to today, ito pa rin ang ating problema. So, Up to today, ang approach pa rin natin sa Congress is to try to push for an economic stimulus package. So
Yeah.
what does this do? Again, remember ang GDP contraction natin, the reason for why bumagsak ng malaki ang GDP natin last year is because of consumption spending. In other
Nako, Marco Borlongan, PLDT, saklolohan nyo nga si Congresswoman. Ewan ko ba, medyo mukhang apektado yung kanyang signal. At any time, Gab, just pasok mo lang si
I'm
Congresswoman.
back.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am. Better. It's better now.
Yes. All right. So our
Yeah, let me put it into a common, more understandable question for marami, no? Kung kayo po yung Octa Research Group at kayo yung Octa for Economics, okay? Ano ang analysis ninyo, ano ang projection nyo, saan tayo pupulutin in terms of the economy?
Okay, so sa ngayon kasi, Sito, dahil sa sobrang tindi ng COVID cases, mukhang pinagpipili tayo di ba? Anong gusto mo, buhay ba or kabuhayan? Kasi right now, no, nagiging malawakan nga ang approach natin sa lockdown. So tama, with a malawakang approach sa lockdown, ibig sabihin naman nun, nakokontrol natin ang cases. Kaya lang, of course, ano ang downside nun? Ang downside nun is tigil ang kabuhayan. Kasi hindi nga pwede pumasok sa opisina, skeletal ang workforce. Kung meron kang kaunting negosyo na wala naman sa essential sector, tigil na muna yan. So ang tingin ko at this point, kailangan na talaga natin
Okay, mukhang kakailanganin ng economic stimulus package ng internet signal this morning. Medyo kinakapos. Okay, but in any case, the reason we're reaching out to the Congresswoman Stella Quimbo kasi alam niyo po, long time economics professor yan. Talagang veterano na yan, alam na niya yung labanan dyan sa ekonomiya, sana makuha natin saan ba tayo pupulutin. Of course, matagal lang tinatrabaho. Congresswoman Quimbo and Joey Salceda, Lord Alan Velasco, they've all been working at creating this economic stimulus package. Kumbaga, gusto nila mangyari, maghanap tayo ng pera, mag-ipon tayo ng pera, mangutang tayo ng pera para maibigay sa iba-ibang grupo, iba-ibang industriya at pangangailangan. Kumbaga, yun yung magpapatakbo muna ng ekonomiya natin para hindi tuloy-tuloy mag-crash. Kasi pag tuloy-tuloy pong mag-crash, habang magka-crash yan, maraming malalaglag, tatalon, kakalas, aalis. And what happens is, by the time the plane crashes, well, everybody is dead economically. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Signal TV, channels 8 and 250, as well as on Facebook.com/OneNewsPH. You can also watch us on YouTube and via Signal app Signal Play app. Okay, let's go back to Congresswoman Stella Quimbo. Congresswoman, welcome back.
Sorry about my internet connection. But anyway, as I was saying, kailangan makahanap na tayo ng approach para yung both health objectives, meaning yung pag-control ng spread ng disease, and at the same time, ang economic recovery, pwede natin ma-achieve at the same time. Right now kasi, kung nagkakaroon tayo ng malawakang lockdown, meaning ECQ, halimbawa na kung saan lahat talaga na nandun sa NCR plus bubble, ay stay at home muna, talagang napaka-damaging yan talaga sa economy. Talagang, yung kung no work, no pay ka, paano ka kikita for that day? And that's the reason for why ang ECQ now must necessarily come with some form of ayuda. So nagiging mahirap talagang ma-implement ang ECQ. So ang tingin ko, ang kailangan ibaguhin natin yung approach, meaning gawin natin very, very granular. Yung talagang ang ila-lockdown mo lang or yung ipapatupad mo lang yung stay-at-home policy, yung affected households lang talaga. So which means, wag ka nang magmalawakang ECQ, hanapin mo na lang yung affected households at yun yung kakausapin natin, sasabihin natin, stay at home muna po tayo dahil may COVID sa ating bahay. But don't worry, we will provide for your needs. Nang sa ganon, Cito, yung konti natin na resources for ayuda, natatarget natin doon sa talagang nangangailangan. Ngayon kasi, there are certain areas naman, may mga kalsa-kalsada, may mga barabarangay na wala namang COVID. So, pag ganon, nasa NCR plus ka, wala naman COVID ang barangay, dapat ipagpatuloy lang. Dapat pwede pa rin silang lumabas. No? It's really, the challenge is hanapin natin yung mga may COVID talaga na households at alagaan natin sila.
Okay.
So
yeah,
in that way, sorry Cito, in that way, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang economy natin. Kasi ang problema is, kung nag-ECQ tayo, ang nawawala sa atin is 8 billion pesos a day. One day, 8 billion. Ganon kalaki talaga. Very mapinsala. And I don't even have to give the numbers. Random natin na pag stay at home tayo, talagang walang kita for that day.
Yeah. Well, that's so true. But ito yung problem, Congresswoman. I think anybody and everybody wants ayuda. In fact, last night I even heard that Vice President Lenny Robredo and Senator Amy Marcos were even proposing swap for swab, na magbibigay sila ng pera sa lahat ng mga magpapaswab para matest lahat, etc. etc. Pero kami ngang mga magbababoy na tinamaan ng ASF, 4 na buwan na ako naghihintay, wala pa yung aking indemnification fund. So when it comes to giving out money, the national government is worse than a tight-fisted whatever. Parang magkakamatayan bago sila magbigay.
Well, actually may nararamdaman tayo na tila lack of willingness, no? But however, I think the bigger problem is really yung logistics sa pag-distribute ng cash. Kasi right now naman po, naging clear naman, no, as soon as nag-announce ang IATF ng ECQ, halimbawa, no, 2 weeks ago, shortly after that, nag-announce na nag-set aside ng 22.9 billion pesos for the 1K per head up to 4K per family ayuda. So, in which case, nandun ang willingness to set aside funds for ayuda. Ngayon naman, Cito, ang problema is logistics. No, so paano naman right now, no, sa marami mga distrito, parang hanggang Mayo pa ang distribution ng 1K na yan. And remember, tapos na tayo nga ECQ, nasa MECQ na tayo ngayon. Pero yung ayuda na dapat for the ECQ period, hanggang Mayo pa i-distribute. So doon tayo nagkakaproblema kasi again, ngayon lang natin na-realize, no, yung importance ng katulad ng having a national ID system na matagal na yan naging batas in the previous Congress pa. Pero sa ngayon, hindi pa siya naro-roll out, di ba? Number 2, matagal na natin sinasabi yung digital platforms. Masyado nang primitive yung pagdidistribute ng cash manually, yung ibabagsak mo, yung i-withdraw mo, yung dinownload na funds, tapos ikakarga mo yung cash, abot mo. Masyadong tedious yung ganon. Dapat we take advantage of digital platforms. And nandiyan na po, no, yung Paymaya, GCash, etc. So yun po, I think yun yung dalawang bagay. And at the same time, third, no, yung lack of manpower. Talagang yung kakailanganin na tao para sa isang manual cash distribution, napakalaki. And that's the reason for why talagang tumatagal talaga ang distribution. So yun, it's a host of things, no? Hindi lang po sa willingness to set aside funds. In the case of ASF, Cito, having hearings with the Department of Agriculture, lagi nilang ina-assure sa amin na nandyan yung, I think, about 6 billion pesos ang nakalaan for yung to help in the repopulation of yung ating namatay na baboy. But as you said, kung hindi pa kayo nakakatanggap, again, that points to the problem na talagang may problema sa logistics ng distribution of assistance.
Okay, but when is Congress going to put its foot down? Kasi alam mo po, kilala mo naman ako, Congresswoman, ako ay masunuring mamamayan, I respect authority, but you know, it has come to a point kung gagamitin ko yung salita namin mga nakakatanda sa inyo, nauuna ang dada kaysa sa gawa. And literally, that's what's happening. Government will talk about programs, about funds, about stimulus this, stimulus that. And yet, when it comes to getting the money on the ground, you yourself have pointed out, some of the ayuda itself won't be coming out until 2 to 3 months from now. Parang, I can feel the frustration of Filipinos. We feel we're drowning in this incompetence. And what, if any, can Congress do about this?
Well, unfortunately, Sito, talagang hatian kami ng trabaho eh, no? So, yung talagang pagpapatupad ng programs, that's really the task or the job of the executive. Kami po sa Congress, kami po lang ang gumagawa ng batas, and at the same time, may oversight. So, yung oversight function, yan ang talagang kailangan naming gawin para masigurado na kung ano yung batas na pinasa namin, napapatupad yan sa baba. So talagang at this point, once the laws are passed or once a resolution has been made in Congress, now the ball is in the court of the executive. And kami naman, we take a step back and now perform our oversight function. So sa ngayon, yun ang situation eh. Of course, we can try to be proactive. Katulad dito sa Bayanihan na pinopropose namin. Nilalagay, we're including language talaga to indicate na kailangan talaga natin halimbawa gumamit na ng digital platforms. So meron na doon naka-indicate na talaga sa panukalang batas na kailangan ng gumamit ng digital payments. So those are the things that we can do. Pero again, as I said, unfortunately, talagang hati tayo sa trabaho.
Okay, yun ang katotohanan, hindi mo naman pwede ipagpilit yung ayaw sa'yo o yung hindi mo pwedeng pakialaman yung hindi sa'yo. But where are we now and where will we be? Because I like your point. I actually agree with your point na dapat granular yung lockdown, kalye, bahay, hindi yung barangay, etc. But I don't know, are we being swept by this panic na, let's just lock down everything. Pati ako nga, feeling ko parang gano'n na lang ang solusyon. I-lockdown na lang lahat para matigil na ito. But I don't know. I mean, saan tayo pupulutin ito, Congresswoman?
Walang sa akin is, talaga eh, again, ang hirap ng stop and go. Yung, okay, na dyan, tumataas ang COVID, stop na muna tayo. We've been doing this for a year now. At nakikita natin naman, the fact that we are still in this situation means that kind of an approach needs tweaking. And hindi naman yan hindi yan kasalanan ng ating gobyerno because sa totoo lang, this is really a new virus. So the thing is, we have to learn, di ba? So dapat nandiyan ang willingness to learn and at the same time to tweak. So yun ang ating request no sa ating mga kasama sa executive na baka pwede natin i-tweak ng kaunti, no? Ibig sabihin, i-revise, i-recalibrate ng kaunti ang ating lockdown approach na para nang sa ganun maging mas effective. The thing kasi, Cito, with a very, very granular approach to the level of household sa pag-lockdown is talagang natututukan mo talaga kung saan sila. No, right now kasi, kahit nakikita natin ang datos from the DOH, nakikita natin ang forecast ng Okta, ano yan yung parang kung nandun ka sa baba, hindi mo alam kung nasaan yung mga yan eh. And number two, hindi naman yan malamang underreported talaga yung number of cases na binibigay ng DOH. Maraming hindi nabibilang dyan, tulad ng mga hindi nagpapatest kasi napakamahal ng testing. And number two, yung mga nako-confirm on the basis of antigen testing. Kasi yung official statistics ng DOH are only those na nag-positive sa RT-PCR. Diba? Marami naman sa ating mga kababayan, in one family, 10 kayo, ang isa doon na-confirm positive ng RT-PCR. Yung siyam doon, kahit na may symptoms yung siyam, hindi na yan magpapatest dahil 4,000 pesos ang kada RT-PCR. Alam nga naman, gumastos ka ulit ng 9 times 4, 36,000 para lang ma-confirm ka. Hindi na kasi alam mo na, malamang sa malamang, may COVID ka and I'm going to take the precautions. So that's the situation. So ilan ba talaga ang COVID sa bawat lugar? Talagang ang may alam niyan is really sa LGUs eh. So I think kailangan na talagang i-decentralize ang approach ng disease control. Kailangan ibigay natin ang resources, ibigay natin ang power sa baba. No? Let's deploy halimbawa our barangay health workers. In many places, hindi fully deployed ang barangay health workers. Yan po, they're trained to do yung house to house and to check halimbawa statistics. And at least sa ngayon, malakas ang loob ko to recommend this kasi vaccinated na po ang ating BHWs. At least kahit paano, protected sila. And at the same time, under Bayanihan 2, which continues to be in effect, meron pong proper compensation ang ating frontliners, including barangay health workers, pagdating sa risk allowance. Ibig sabihin may hazard pay, no? And at the same time, support, no? Kung nagkasakit ang ating frontliners.
So you are suggesting, Congresswoman, essentially, okay, cascade or bring down the health management to the barangay level and then let them do the testing per household. Hindi kailangan yung buong household pero at least per household dapat nagche-check tayo, etc. Kasi tinatanong dito ng team agenda, how do you propose to do this house-to-house management of the disease?
Well, again, no, so malalaman naman ng mga LGUs kung saan malamang yung mga clusters, right? And so kung saan yung mga clusters na yan, we can target ang healthcare, na community healthcare, we can target that to these pre-identified clusters, no? So pwedeng i-house to house, no? Pwedeng bisitahin ng ating barangay healthcare workers para kumustahin, etc., to find out the situation in these affected households. And of course, contact tracing. Malalaman natin, tatanungin natin sila, tatanungin ng BHW, sinong yung nakasalamuha in the last 7 days halimbawa, ililista. And at the same time, within the barangay, pwede na rin puntahan ng ating community health team. So tingin ko ganun kailangan mo na talagang, ang problema sito kasi is the virus has become faster than policy. Yun ang naging problema So kailangan natin bilisan ng kaunti para yung pace natin, sumabay man tayo or at one point, ma-overtaken natin ang virus. And the only way to do that is to really go community level.
Okay, for your part, you in Congress have been pushing so hard and we appreciate all your effort para magkaroon nitong Bayanihan 3. Now, billion ang pinag-uusapan natin ito. I am under the impression na ang pagkukunan natin ito, uutangin natin. Is that correct, Congresswoman? What are you hoping to accomplish with a Bayanihan 3?
Well, again, yung Bayanihan 3 is really mostly an ayuda bill. So 1 year na tayo naghihirap yung lifeline na to, kumbaga sa may sakit, parang marami sa atin talaga nag-aagaw buhay na. So, hindi naman ito para bumalik ka sa dati mong health, no? Or dati mong sitwasyon, but rather para lang makatawid. So, it's really a lifeline. however much we are proposing will really never be enough. But this is really kaunting tulong lang. So ayuda bill siya for families and also for workers. By workers, I mean not only those who lost their jobs during the pandemic, but also those who are currently employed, especially by the small, by the MSMEs. No, so yun yung main target ng Bayanihan Free. So anong ang source of funds? Si Speaker Velasco and his team, and kasama naman ako dyan, Cito, has been meeting with economic managers. No? So we've been working with them, coordinating with them to look for possible fund sources. In fact, ang sabi nila, babalikan kami this week to give us a more definite list of fund sources. So hindi lang po utang. Kung hindi, ang pinaka-safe talaga sito is really savings. Marami pa tayong natira from the 2020 GAA, which continues to be effective. So pwede pa natin isweep ang savings from the 2020 GAA. Kasi as of end December, meron pang natitirang 280 billion na hindi pa na-obligate. So that's one possible source. Number two, yung GOCCs, pwede po natin maging source of funds din ng ating GOCCs, yung government-owned corporations. So meron naman po tayong mga government-owned corporations na maganda naman ang kita pa rin. And perhaps pwede nating sabihin na ang dividend remittances to the national government pwedeng lakihan. No? So that's another source. Number three, there's one provision under Bayanihan 2 which allows us to borrow as much as 282 billion pesos from the BSP. Ang kagandahan, pag umutang ka sa sarili mong bangko is concessional ang terms. Ibig sabihin, pinaka-generous ang terms pag umutang ka sa BSP. And right now, there's space to borrow 282 billion. Of course, pwedeng hindi naman yan i-max out. Kung sabihin natin kalahati lang ang hiramin mo from BSP, 141 ang pwede mong kunin from the BSP. So yun, yung mix na yan, ang kailangan pa natin ma-finalize with the economic managers. So yan po ang ating, that's what is keeping us busy at the moment. Sito, apart from consolidating the 6 versions of the Bayanihan 3 bills. No? So 6 versions yan, ang kailangan gawin at the committee level is pag-isahin ang 6 versions na yan para ma-approve sa joint committees ng Committee on Economic Affairs pati ng Social Services.
Okay, I can almost hear other people saying yung mga hindi naman kapos, hindi naman naghihikahos, pero I can almost hear them saying, paano naman kami? I think there is this sentiment out there that, government keeps thinking of the poor, which is good, of those in need, which is good. But there is also a population of maybe 30 million Filipinos who may not be poor, but are also looking for some sort of relief, especially those who have been imprisoned for 1 year and 1 month because of their age or because of government policy of lockdowns. Kumbaga, parang there are a bunch of people, there's a big group of people looking for, asking, what's in it for me?
Tama yun, no? Ang COVID, Sito, is really a great equalizer. Hindi siya pumili ng tinamaan. Talagang lahat tinamaan, no? Big, small, poor, rich, talagang lahat natamaan in some way. And at this point, dahil umabot na nga ng 1 year plus, talagang kahit paano, may impact sa bawat tao. So ang naging philosophy ni Speaker Velasco is, sana all. So yung ayuda na pinopropose namin is 1,000 kada Filipino. Kahit sino ka man, there's an allocation of 1,000 per head. So for a family of 6, regardless of income class, meron kang 6,000 pesos na ayuda. Of course, Sito, meron language doon sa proposed bill na pwede mag-waive. Of course, yung mga friends natin sa Forbes
Yes.
Park, pwede sila mag-waive, right? So ganun na lang. But we have to make sure we are on the side of inclusion. We make sure that for every tranche of ayuda, and we're proposing two tranches of ayuda, of course, subject to fund availability, merong 108 billion sa kada tranche. So that assures us na merong 1,000 per head.
I did not hear you or any other lawmaker or policymaker ever comment or say anything about a ayuda for people who have been wiped out by medical bills, lalo na critical COVID. Kasi medyo ako na nagiging emotional dito because ilang tao na yung mga nabalitaan ko, mga kakilala ko. Yes, may kaya. Ngayon, benta na yung kotse, benta na yung lupa, nawala na yung inipon. And I guess the point is parang, has anybody thought of a special package, a bailout package for every Filipino who's facing or gone through at least a 1.5 to 2 million peso bill regardless of hospital kasi wala na akong pinipiling hospital talagang milyon-milyon ang binabayad ng mga critical at ang binibigay lang ng PhilHealth kapiranggot.
Actually, Cito, hindi na dapat kailangan gumawa ng special package because may PhilHealth. And under PhilHealth, remember, every Filipino is now a member of PhilHealth. Yun ang ginawa ng Universal Healthcare Law. So, una sa lahat, dapat lahat tayo merong eligibility. Okay? Number two, merong tayong 3 packages under PhilHealth. Pagdating sa pinaka-critical kind of COVID, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the exact number, but that's about 800,000 pesos.
Yeah.
So dapat pasok na dapat kung ano ang binibigay ng PhilHealth should be enough. All right? But as you said, some would run up to the millions. Meron, I think, proposal na pati i-fully cover na dapat ng PhilHealth. But hindi ko pa alam ang status kung na-approve na yan. But I've heard of that proposal quite recently na magbago na dapat ang policy ng PhilHealth na wala na dapat co-payment ang isang COVID patient. And actually, Cito, if you think about the numbers, hindi naman dapat yan ikalugi ng PhilHealth because it's less than 1% sa lahat ng COVID patients ang nagiging critical. So, kailangan, hindi dapat umangal ang PhilHealth kung sinabi natin na dapat wala ng co-payment or wala na dapat babayaran ang isang pasyente because of their PhilHealth cover.
Okay, I just hope we can spend some more time in the future regarding that issue, Congresswoman, because yung mga ibang hospital ayaw ngang i-declare na critical kasi critical COVID kasi parang pipila sila sa PhilHealth for everything. So what they're trying to do is,
Exactly.
underclassify the patient para yung patient ang magbabayad sa kanila. Yung PhilHealth naman parang nakatali yung kamay. Anyway, thank you very much for your time and I really hope we can talk to you soon regarding this issue kasi ang dami ko na pong kilala na talagang wala na, nagbebenta na ng mga gamit at to me, that is a curse. That is a curse when you've already been affected by COVID and then you have to be displaced from your home or sell all of your properties. Anyway, thank you very much, Congresswoman, and we hope to see you soon here on Agenda.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. That's Congresswoman Stella Quimbo. Alam niyo po, baka sabihin niyo, Cito, para kayong umiikot-ikot dun sa, alam ba niyo, yung sa dagat, yung umiikot, yung whirlpool ba tawag nila doon, parang hindi mo malaman kung saan ka pupulutin. Yun na po ang nangyayari sa atin. But anyway, let's go for a quick break and when we return, let's speak to Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya of the DILG here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and let's bring in a regular on agenda, Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya of the Department of Interior and Local Government. USEC, Jonathan, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Cito, and good morning to all your viewers.
Ano ba yung TV show na puro sila aga mulak ng mga bata? Para kang isa dun sa mga artista. Very young looking ka this morning, Yusek. Okay, ang dating mo.
Thank you.
Bagets na bagets.
Nag-t-shirt lang ako ngayong araw para medyo relax naman ang pakiramdam.
Ay, talaga sabi mo, tama po ang sabi mo, Yusek, kasi ako talaga feeling ko nalulunod na ako sa problema ng bansa. I can only imagine what you and Secretary Anyo and the President are feeling when confronted with all of these problems. In any case, going back to the serious matter, first things first, kamusta na si Secretary Ed Anyo? Babalik na ba si Bossing?
Yes, I'm very glad to share, Sir Cito, na tomorrow, si Secretary Anyo is going back to work. Yes.
Okay. Sigurado kang kayang-kaya na niya,
Yeah, he has been given clearance by his doctors. So virtual meetings muna siya, no? But he is already going back to work. So as a matter of fact, meron kaming early morning meeting with him. Our first meeting with him immediately dito kasi sinabi niya bukas, which is the 15th, no? I remember you asked me last time I was here, kailan siya babalik, and I said na it's going to be the middle of the month of April. So true to his word, he's coming back April 15.
Okay, that's good news, and we are glad that all our prayers have been answered, kasi alam ko medyo yung tinawid at tinulay ni Secretary Anyo kasama ng kanyang may bahay at mga pamilya niya medyo was very intense. In any case, going to the topic, yesterday I interviewed Dr. Maricar Limpin, and she pointed out one of their frustrations is the contact tracing, because there are so many apps, different LGUs, and meron naman ang government na stay safe. Ilang beses na natin pinag-usapan dalawa yan, but for some strange reason, there is either an incompatibility of mind or resistance to the use of the stay safe, and it is contributing to the slowdown or inefficiency of contact tracing against COVID-19.
Yes, again, there's good news there. As I mentioned also during the last time I was here in the show, the Stay Safe application and the entire database and the application itself has already been turned over to the DILG. So kami na po, no? We're the ones handling it already. And thank you to Multisys for this donation to government. Now, we already coordinated with the LGUs in Metro Manila, for example, like Mandaluyong, Valenzuela, who have their own contact tracing applications. And we have begun integration with them. In fact, magkakaroon ng beta testing. So before the end of this month, by May 1, we would have already integrated the local contact tracing apps in Metro Manila with that of Stay Safe. So we are working overtime, Sir Cito, to get this done so that we can have, what we've always wanted, a unified digital contact tracing system, at least in Metro Manila. And then we will go out of NCR and start cascading this also to the provinces.
Okay, what is the timeline for Metro Manila, NCR or NCR Plus, and what is the timeline for nationwide? Kasi time is of the essence here, and this is one of our key problems.
Yes, our target to fully integrate the three. There's only three in Metro Manila contact tracing apps that are localized. No, our target is to have them integrated by the end of the month or by May 1. Okay, and also we're also working with the various local government units in Metro Manila so that they will also vigorously implement and require establishments within their areas to use Stay Safe. Kasi ka naman Cito, kung dinownload nga ng tao, pero pag pumunta siya sa isang establishment or sa isang building di naman required, then useless din naman yung kanyang pag-download ng Stay Safe. So we expect also to sign by Monday the joint memorandum circular on the Safety Seal Certification Program. What is this Safety Seal Certification Program? We will inspect all business establishments on their compliance on minimum health standards. Like for example, do they have a footpath? Do they have a temperature check at the end? Do they have Stay Safe? And if they do have Stay Safe, we will give them a sticker in front, which they can put at the entrance of their establishment, which then says that check ito, compliant with minimum health standards. So it's one of the ways that we're using a carrot approach, that if you utilize Stay Safe, you will have a sticker from government which shows that you are compliant with minimum health standards.
Is there a cost involved in registering or enrolling into the Stay Safe app of the DILG?
There's none. It's completely free. No, it's like our vaccination program. You don't pay anything. No, you just have to go to you can go to the website, or you can go to Google, the App Store, and download Stay Safe, and it's completely free.
Yun lang, ganun lang kasimple. Pasabihan ko lang, oy, ate, punta ka doon sa computer, i-download mo yung Stay Safe para meron tayo dito, tapos ilalagay lang sa entrada ng tindahan.
Yes, ganun lang po kabilis, no? Sa individual, I myself have downloaded this, madali lang, no? Siguro dun sa mga establishments, kailangan ng konting tutorial, because you will have to create your own digital logbook. Kasi, di ba, Sir Cito, papel-papel pa yung iba. So instead of papel-papel, all of the entrance and exits of individuals to your establishment can now be accessed through a digital logbook. And the digital logbook perhaps may require some orientation. But we are already developing YouTube videos and self-tutorials, so you don't need orientation anymore. Sa panahon ngayon, ganun na eh. Kailangan mo lang panoorin yung video so that you can already utilize the system.
Okay. Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat pointed out na hindi lahat may cellphone. And dun sa mga probinsya ay marami pa rin na wala talagang cellphone. So hindi sila makakagawa nitong QR code, etc. But she said, baka naman pwede natin gawin yung naka-print na QR code ba? Hindi ako techie, pasensya ka na. Para yung sa mga probinsya, pupunta lang sa barangay, papaprint nila, ayan, meron ka ng QR code para pag umikot ka dito. Are you going to have that feature as well?
Yes, we have that feature actually. We saw that, for example, in Venezuela, they require the val trace, but may mga taong walang smartphone. So ang ginagawa ng mga tao, they print the QR code. They print it and then they bring it around. Stay Safe has a scanning feature. So meaning, for those individuals who have no smartphone but they need to go inside the building, i-scan lang po ng establishment yung QR code nyo na printed sa papel. So, ang ginagawa ng mga tao, yung papel ay dinalaminate lang nila to protect it from the elements. And yung establishment naman will activate the scanning feature sa Stay Safe, and they will be the one to scan the QR code of the individual.
Okay, actually mga kaibigan, ito po, no, ito yung sa Pasig, dinownload ko lang ito sa computer, pinrint namin, pagkatapos nilaminate namin. Parang parang walang cellphone, Pero sigurista po kasi tayo. The next point, Yusek, what about, I don't want to give you the same headaches that Secretary Art Tugade had nung naglagay siya ng deadline tungkol dito sa IPA sa RFID sa mga sasakyan. Pero dahil naggawa sila ng deadline, medyo it forced the issue and it forced people kumbaga dumami yung nag-register dito sa SLEX at saka sa NLEX dahil naglagay ng deadline. Are we going to put a deadline for Stay Safe to be implemented nationwide? Kasi parang nakikita ko, kung magmumula pa sa DILG tapos probinsya, baka mas madali kung sabihin ninyo, Region 1, Region 2, o mag-organize na kayo, etc. Are you going to put a deadline? Is there a strategy? What's the plan?
Well, yung ating pong Stay Safe application is already being cascaded down sa lahat ng local government units. And in fact, we already have 17 million individual users. We already have 600 local government units adopting it. So siguro, Sir Cito, ang pwede natin lagyan ng deadline is the adoption or implementation of the LGU. Na the LGU utilizes the system. Yun. I think in 3 months or less, we can do that. No? Make sure that all LGUs are using it. Ang medyo mahirap lang, of course, is to scale up the usage, utilization ng tao. Because as you said, iba-iba naman tayo. May probinsya, may rural, may urban, may cellphone, may wala. No? But our target is around 50 million individual users. And I think critical mass na yung 50 million na yan, makatulong na sa atin. That we have to discuss yet kung if we will put a self-imposed deadline on government to be able to reach that. But basta ma-require lang natin yung lahat ng LGUs to use it, I think we will get nearer to that number.
Will it come to a point that if you don't have, kung wala ka nitong QR code o nitong Stay Safe app, whether papel o kaya ay cellphone, ay hindi ka maseserbisyuhan sa gobyerno? Kasi parang nagiging gano'n na yung trend eh. Pag hindi ka na-vaccinate, baka malamang at malamang hindi ka makalipad o makabiyahe. Eh dito sa Pilipinas, no Stay Safe app, no travel, no government service.
Yeah, posible po. Parang yung face mask and face shield. No? Wala kang face mask, face shield, hindi ka papapasukin. Wala kang face mask, face shield, pwede kang masita. So posible din that we will have that situation when establishments are required to use Stay Safe. Papasok mo, wala kang QR code, hindi ka rin mapagsisirbisyohan. I'm sure madami naman magagalit dyan, but we have to do this because that's the only way we will be able to ramp up our digital contact tracing to complement our manual contact tracers.
Well, actually, hindi dapat magalit. People should not be annoyed or angry if this becomes a policy because one of our viewers shared with me an observation. Yung bang mga kahapon, actually, na-experience ko yan. Pumunta ako sa isang hardware na malaki, walang app. Bali, binigyan lang ako kapirasong papel. Pagkatapos, pagbigay sa akin ng papel, pina-fill up, yung isang ballpen, wala. Tsaka yun nga pala, Yusek, wala na yung mga alcohol dati na usong-uso sa mga counter. Bigla na, wala na lahat yung parang bring your own na. Sabi nga nung viewer natin, I feel that is one of the reasons why the virus is also being spread because of the a ballpen and paper system. So, how does the contact tracing via text messaging work? May ganun daw pong sang Stay Safe. Ano ba ere?
Yes. Well, on the first point po na Kasito, kaya nga namin iniisip na magkaroon ng safety seal certification program para mabalikan natin yung mga ginawa natin before. Kasi kung napansin nyo, last year, yung kasagsagan ng COVID last year, talagang grabe. There were footpaths everywhere. There were disinfection chambers everywhere. There were disinfection of cars, no? Talagang we did everything we can. And then nawala bigla, no? And that's why when we had the surge, medyo hindi tayo masyadong nakarespond, no? That's why we need to inspect all establishments again, no? Do this massive inspection, which we will do through different government agencies. Kami sa DILG, we will inspect all public buildings of local governments, police stations, fire stations and all, no? Barangay halls. The DTI will handle malls, no? The LGU will handle public markets. No? May kanya-kanya pong assignment. yung different government agencies, just to make sure that the minimum health standards are being implemented in all establishments across the country, including Stay Safe. So, pag may Stay Safe, may sticker. So, pag ikaw ang consumer, you go to these establishments, kampante ka na, na-inspect ito, and the seal is valid for 6 months. After 6 months, another round of inspection just to get that done. Now, to answer your question about text messaging feature, it's being discussed. Ang problema lang doon, Sir Cito, may cost kasi. There's a cost that is attendant to this. So hindi pa namin ma-discuss ito. I will just defer to the VICT about any announcement so far as text messaging kasi nga meron pang pinag-uusapan as to the funding requirement of this feature.
Okay. Well, I'll have to end it at that, Yusek. Medyo pas na muna tayo dun sa curfew violators. Pero kung gusto mong sagutin, totoo ba yung balita ko na pag nag-violate ka ng curfew ay hindi ka napukulong, bale multa ka na lang or titikitan ka na lang?
That's correct. Yun naman po talaga ang policy natin from the very beginning. Kasi ang mga curfew naman are locally imposed laws, no? Or they are by virtue of a ordinance passed by the local government unit. So kadalasan po dyan fine, warning lang naman, no? And ikukulong ka lang naman kung ano ka na disobedience to a person authority, which is a violation of the revised penal code. Kaya nung nabalitaan naman yung nangyari sa Laguna na binugbog dahil tumakas kasi siya After nagpaalam lang siya mag-CR, paka-CR niya tumakbo. So hinuli, nabugbog, no? And we're not condoning what the barangay tanoks did. Homicide cases have been filed against them. So it is not the policy of the LGU na bugbugin, no? That is a illegal act. That's why kami sa DILG, we immediately condemned what happened and we ensured that the PNP Calamba filed the cases against the two barangay tanoks.
Okay, thank you very much, Yusek John, and please stay safe, stay strong, and stay healthy. God bless you.
Maraming salamat din po at mabuhay po kayo.
Okay, yan po si Yusek Jonathan Malaya. And at this point, let's bring in yung netizen report na hindi ko na ilabas kahapon. Let's bring it now.
Last week, we asked you how you were coping with the quarantine in NCR+. James Hermogenes believes that without mass testing and mass vaccination, the economy will decline. Coronel De Vera says that if COVID-19 doesn't kill you, then stress and hunger will. Coronel also calls for inoculation, contact tracing, and using of PPEs. We also discussed tourism and ask if you are in favor of accepting foreign tourists in the country. A big yes for KJ Adolfo Paternoga. She states that everyone is fed up with unsuccessful lockdowns leading businesses to bankruptcy and causing families to struggle financially. Reynaldo Jeff Patersal backs the idea of welcoming foreign tourists in one condition: vaccinate the workers of the tourism industry. He also notes that people are getting hungry and becoming desperate because they have mouths to feed. On the other hand, Erwin Gabutan Vea Bangalan says, no way! He conveys his fear that these foreigners might bring another variant of the virus in the country. He also points out, we cannot even contain the pandemic now, so why even welcome potential COVID carriers?
Okay, that's just some of the feedback we've been getting, and we hope that you would continue to share your thoughts, sentiments with us, and we pray that you will all spend a little time praying, reflecting, and today po nadinig ko dun sa aming Every Nation Victory Christian Fellowship morning prayers, yung sa Isaiah Book 2, no? It has to do with how we have worshipped our work, our lifestyle, and ayun, kinagalit ni Lord John. So, time to reflect, and I hope you spend time reflecting on the way you have lived, your priorities, and prioritize loving those around you, your children, your wife, your husband, and your parents. Thank God for everything you have. God bless you. Have a great day. And that's Agenda for Today.